Today we will have a conference with different perspectives, and we will start now with the welcoming words of Mr. Gustavo Mesa Cuadra, the Peruvian ambassador to the US. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It's a big pleasure to be here with you in this historic day with celebrating Alex's 50 years. A great day for Peru for Alex. Mr. Julio Velarde, President of the Central Bank. Mr. Alex Contreras, Minister of Economy and Finance. Mr. Julio Pérez Alban, President of the Exporters Association, Alex. Mr. Orlando Marchesi, Country Senior Partner of PricewaterhouseCoopers and Board Member of AmCham. Mr. Diego Pereira, Executive Director at JP Morgan. Mr. Melvin Escudero, CEO of El Dorado Asset Management. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin thanking everybody for joining us today in this forum that aims at commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Association of Exporters of Peru, ALEX, and within this framework, delivering an important message to the U.S. business community regarding the prospects and opportunities of the Peruvian economy. Peru and the United States are important partners who share values and interests such as the promotion and defense of democracy, the rule of law, human rights, the promotion of trade and investment, the protection of the environment, and the fight against organized crime, among others. Both countries believe in the importance of building more prosperous, equitable, and just societies, closing social and infrastructure gaps to give our people more access to better opportunities and dignified life. We both share the priority of effectively addressing the climate change crisis through progress toward the implementation of clean energies and the ongoing multilateral negotiations. One of the key aspects of Peru-US partnership is our economic bilateral relations, characterized by the stability, complementarity, and mutual benefit in recent decades. At the same time that the Peruvian economy has grown, our relations have been strengthened. Since we signed the Peru-US trade agreement in 2009, our bilateral trade has nearly tripled, reaching around $22 billion. The US is our second most important trading partner, as well as the main market for Peruvian non-traditional products and value-added goods. We are also the US second fruit supplier and one of the most important food suppliers in this market. Furthermore, Peru is a crucial destination for US intermediate products, capital and consumer goods, as well as technological exports, which improve the productivity of Peruvian industries. The free trade agreement has both many benefits for the private sector of both countries, especially small and medium-sized enterprises. More than 8,000 new Peruvian companies were registered in the last 14 years to export the United States. 90% of them were precisely small or medium-sized enterprises. In recent years, we have had to face, as many developing countries, a complex international environment aggravated by COVID and the war in Europe. We have also faced internal challenges such as the political crisis at the end of the last year and the beginning of this one, as well as climatological phenomena that has challenged our economy. But despite these challenges, as you will hear today, the Peruvian economy has shown itself a solid, resilient, and inclusive economy, open to foreign investment, but we cannot be complacent. Our growth potential is much higher, and we urgently need to increase our figures of private investment, particularly in infrastructure, in order to boost the economy and employment and return to reduce poverty. In Peru, as you know, the long-term infrastructure gap is for 20 years is about $100 billion. The government is doing its part with significant investment to boost the reactivation of the economic activities of household, regions, and productive sectors. Among other reasons, the international trade negotiations carried out by Peru has given us big stability. I would also like to highlight that around 1 million Peruvians live in the US, an important community that also contributes to stability and businesses with Peru and the US. Likewise, the fact that APEC is this year in the US and next year in Peru is an opportunity that we need to use, and I think we are already working in our common agenda in order to complement our efforts. Furthermore, our aim to accede to the OECD demonstrates also our commitment to sound public policies oriented to stability and growth. In January 2022, our country was invited to start the process to join this important organization. Finally, I would like to highlight the important role of the institutions from the private sector, such as ADEX, in building a strong trading relation with the United States, and a crucial contribution in these 50 years to promote economic development in Peru and its international presence. Peruvian businessmen and entrepreneurs are the central part of the significant growth of our economy in the world, which in 2022 reached around 63 billion US. I would like also to take this opportunity to thank the US private sector for trusting and investing in Peru. I encourage to continue doing so. Peru is a country of opportunities integrated to the world, where foreign investment, trade, and tourism is always welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Our next speaker is very well known in the financial industry, not only in Peru, worldwide. He has awarded also Nobel Prizes as a best central bank in the world. He's considered a person that is guaranteed the institutionality and the stability of Peru. Welcome to Julio Velarde, our central bank governor.
I got the presentation. Perfect, thank you very much. Have you got the? Okay, perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for the words. I am afraid to talk after the presentation of Melvin. It's a pleasure to be here with Alex. I'm already optimistic, but after talking with some of the members of Alex and prospects, ERC further exports, I am more optimistic than before. It's surprising how much they are thinking of promoting more exports and how close they are to the frontier in their enterprises of the latest technology. And it's very important that they still have a faith in the country and in continuing business, etc. Can you talk a little bit about the last numbers of Foro? First, you probably have heard a lot about the political noise that has been happening in Peru. But in spite of that, as the ambassador said, the strength and the resilience of the economy has been extremely important. For example, here we have on this century, including the bad years of 2020 to 2022, we have in the country with the highest growth in the region, 4.3%. And also with the lowest inflation for the countries that have their own currency. Panama has lower inflation, but they are using the dollar as their currency. And it's very important, but because of it, in spite of all this noise, we have had these numbers, and we are going to see a strain in the volumetric reserves, in the fiscal situation, etc. Some numbers here. The economic activity had a big improvement after COVID, Actually, when I had that recover faster, in part because of the situation. Actually, growth has been not so good, let's say, but compared to other countries in the region, we have fully recovered from the levels of GDP before COVID. But growth is going to be higher. Mr. Fernandez is proposing a lot of measures that are going to push for higher growth and latitude for many of the entrepreneurs. In that is particular problem we have also in this effort. These are our projections. That's our projection of March. We're going to present new projections the next month. We have the growth is going, we expect it to be around 2.6 on March. And it's driven mainly by the primary GDP, specifically mining. Mining that was affected last year because of blockades is expected to perform much better. Not only one of the bigger mines opened the last quarter of last year that added 12% to the production of copper, but we have had that these roadblocks that were affecting the production of a lot of mines, taking the produce of the mines to the ports. They have actually become much better. Now they can take the produce to the ports. Just in one of the big mines, for example, they were unable to take the produce to the ports, and they had something like 2 or 3 months of production in the mine ready to be taken to the ports. And now they are putting there. Just to give you a number, last year, we had a mining production that was 5% below COVID, in spite of having new mines that have opened, and that was because of this demonstration that were affecting the production. Now we're expecting mining to recover fully, and also other sectors. What is being affected is the non-primary GDP. We are expecting it to grow much less than last year. Last year we had a strong growth of non-primary GDP. As you can see there, we're expecting now non-primary GDP to grow only 1.9%. Last year we grew 3.2%. And in part because monetary policy, we have been increasing interest rate has affected. And also in the first months, particularly January and February, there were some social protests that they have disappeared almost completely, but they affected production at the start of the year. If we go to some of the indicators, we see that I can see by sectors. Consumption remains pretty strong. Private consumption that grew 3.6% last year, we expect it to grow 2.8% this year. Private investment is going to fall slightly, but you can see the number for 2021. In 2021, we had 50% more of private investment than the level of 2019. It was like growing 5% every year. Now we're expecting to have a big market investment started to fall in the last quarter. Probably is going to fall also this year. But what I can see is a renewed interest in some of the bigger mining players at our level to increase exploration and growth because of copper. The copper reserves of the world are concentrated basically in Chile, Peru. And with that demand, not only for electric cars, a lot of people mention electric cars, the demand a little more than 4 times that compared to normal cars, but also for that infrastructure of electricity that you have to build